What's going on, people? Welcome to Fandoms Anonymous. We are here. This is the place for the official Fandoms Anonymous Power Ranger movie countdown. Man, we are so excited to have a Power Rangers movie coming out. We're going to be providing you all types of content, from podcasts to special interviews with special guests to different conversations to debates about Power Rangers. We're talking Power Rangers every single day. There's going to be a new video dropping every day leading up to the release of the Power Rangers movie. Again, this is Fandoms Anonymous presents the Power Rangers movie countdown. Follow us all over social media and subscribe to us here on YouTube. Go Power Rangers.
But we're going to move on to another topic inside of this list, talking about cosplay. So I know that you two are into cosplay. And what are some of you guys' plans and aspirations of cosplay inside the Power Rangers universe?
Okay, well, I know we have one coming up. Anna, help me out because I can't pronounce it. So
I can't either. That's why I waited on you.
That's so bad. We can't pronounce it. But we have one. You know what? We're gonna keep it a secret. We have one coming up. It's not coming up till August of 2018 though, so it's like over a year. So maybe we'll
PMC 2018.
Right. We'll do a reveal later when it gets closer.
You
know. But we're doing,
I need to travel to
we're
that.
Gonna do a series. I mean, outside of that, you know, I've done Die Ranger. That's probably one that most people will recognize me as because I don't think there's another pink Die Ranger out there right now. There might be. If there is, I apologize. I haven't seen you. No shade. No shade. But I haven't. If you do, hey, we should meet up, talk. But yeah. So I've done Die Ranger. I mentioned before I already had Jungle Fury, so I got those in there. I'll probably just be bringing those back. Now with this like new fervor for Power Rangers, you know, good time to like dust off old suits and put it back on and pretend like you've never done it before because, you know, we're reaching out to a completely new fan base at this point. So, outside of that, I haven't really thought too much about any other series that I really wanna do. So.
And Anna, what about you?
As far as me, well, this summer I wanna do my first costume competition for a con here in Indy in July, called Indy PopCon, and I'm aiming to get this Rita Repulsa done. I've been slowly gathering all my materials. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I'm gonna do Rita Repulsa.
Good.
Yeah, we got that thing coming up for Paramorphicon, and also I think I want to invest. Trying to figure out which company to go with, but I want to invest in a Shelby Watkins costume because I can take the helmet off and still look like her. But I love her. I really do. I really that's one of my favorite Rangers. Yeah, and I'll probably one day get a Jen costume, the Pink Ranger from Time Force. To me, she really stood out. She was the closest thing we've ever had to a female leader for more than like 2 episodes. Cause yeah, but yeah, I love her. And to me, she kind of taught the Red Ranger how to lead most of Time Force. And when she came back the next season, oh my God, with the black on, and she flew from the mountain out of costume. Yeah, all that. Love her. And Erin Cahill is very nice. She let me hold the helmet. We took a picture.
I love that. How is cosplaying in a male-dominated fandom with spandex? Something for, you know, the ladies out there who like their cosplay, but sometimes they might feel a little uncomfortable. And I just, for you guys out there who make females feel uncomfortable when they cosplay as certain characters that may cause them to wear certain lack of clothing, you know, shame on you. Your mama taught you better. Shame on you. Pat you on the hand. Shame on you. So
I mean, well, some of it comes from, you know, you always have your awkward group in every fandom. who is like, okay, you're not understanding social cues. You're always going to have a group of people like that. I think one of the probably, bigger, I think it can be tough for females is, across a lot of fandoms, the female character is usually wearing something skimpy. Probably when you get down to brass tacks, it's not going to be very functional for the role that they're in. It's just, visually appealing. And then on top of it, you have individuals who be like, well, you don't look like that character. You know what I mean? Especially being a female of color, if I played everyone, who looked like me, it would be the Yellow Ranger, Storm from X-Men, and Michonne from, Walking Dead. That's, it's kind of run the gamut. Being Die Ranger Pink was nice because there is no American version for it. So, you can't tell me that the Pink Ranger's not black because they're all Japanese. What? So, spandex is uncomfortable. I think it's uncomfortable for guys too, though. There's a lot of stuff that you have to wear underneath the spandex.
I was just wondering of the undergarments. Oh my God.
When I did Die Ranger, there is a video out. Kevin did the video shoot. He's awesome. There's I think I had 4 layers of tuck it in, hold it, put it, move it, and shift it stuff on, and then the suit on top of it. But you love it. You do what you need to do. So, and if you can, hey, if you like it, I love it. You know what I mean? And I think everybody's trying to kind of develop that kind of mentality when it comes to cosplay. It just makes it a lot easier with cosplay, especially now that it's becoming more mainstream. I think there's a lot more pressure to look a certain way, be able to do the mannerisms and match the character as closely as possible, which would end up excluding a lot of people.
I want to touch on something, you ladies. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the whole, because every Halloween I'm going to the club in some kind of costume anyway, and I don't know, I don't feel like a certain pressure to do anything that I don't feel comfortable with. I mean, to me, I just think the quote-unquote pin-up cosplay is a choice, and you either choose to or not to. So, for those who choose to, I hope they're not blaming other people for their decision to do that.
Exactly. And you guys brought up a point in the conversation not too long ago. You talked about from Time Force, the Pink Ranger from Time Force, Jen, and how she was what you would call really one of the first leaders that's female in Rangers. So what do you guys think about the lack of a female lead in over the 20-plus year of Power Ranger history? Now, we do have to put some certain considerations out there when it comes to, certain leaders in Rangers. So for what I would say, and she was gorgeous. That woman is gorgeous. The actress that played Lauren Sheba in Samurai, gorgeous actress. So that was, in a sense, our first female lead. So what do you guys think about the lack of not having a season where it's not some type of complication or some type of time warp situation or whatever you want to call it, but not having a season where the female lead is the female lead because she's the female lead?
I think it's long
nothing
overdue.
More, nothing less.
I think it's definitely long overdue. And I don't see why the lead has to be designated to the color red. Why can't we switch up the color of the leader sometimes?
I have a question for you all. With this specific topic, if you could take a season and swap out a lead, other than Time Force, we've already designated Time Force. If you could take a female Ranger that was real powerful in her role, who knew what she was doing, who knew what the job was, and you could switch her to be the leader and still have her color, who would it be?
I would swap out the leader for Megaforce, and I'd pick any one of them. Doesn't matter. Anybody can do it.
To be totally honest, I feel like, with the exception of Dino Charge, I feel like the whole Neo Saban Nickelodeon era, they were just picking models straight off the runway and putting them in Power Ranger costumes, not even caring about the acting. But I would take Dino Thunder Yellow, and I would definitely make her lead Megaforce.
And for me, I would honestly take Shelby and put her lead in Dino Charge. I mean, I just don't see. Real quick, I would take Shelby to make her the leader.
If I was to take the lead from anyone in Dino Charge, I would give it to Coda. I love Coda. I think that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with the whole cast. I think Coda kind of stole the show.
He did. They took the time in Dino Charge, and excuse me for running water people out there. They took the time in Dino Charge to flesh out every single character. Mm-hmm. You got so many characters, and they literally took the time to flesh out, and you got to know every single person, who they were, why they were, what they were, and why they are the way they are. And that's one thing I enjoyed about Dino Charge. And like you said, it was able to let you know, not necessarily let you know, but you were able to enjoy the full cast or like the full cast because you grew to know them. Nobody got left behind like Lucas on Time Force. We know who Shelby was and the fact that she was a book smart, her dad, big businessman. We knew who Tyler was, the situation with his dad. We knew who every single person was, you know, and that was a good thing about not Time Force, Dino Charge. I get them mixed up sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel like I feel like Saban is maybe taking a little bit more time, you know, with these series now. You know, it used to be, I think, you know, it used to be really just like one season, like one and done, you know, and they just take like some of the major stuff and throw it together and hope that it gets renewed. Now it seems like they're actually like, no, let's actually look at the Sentai version. Let's watch it. Let's find out what it's about, and let's actually try to emulate this for kids, you know, and Americanize it, but not quote unquote bastardize it or destroy it.
But that,
you know, I'm
for me,
with the Ninja Steel, they're going to continue that because it was very refreshing. You know, like the American Dino Charge was one of the full Sentai seasons that I watched. I have it on DVD. You know, I watched the movies. I got the jacket. I think it's fabulous. And I give props to the writers for the American version because I think they did it justice.
And back to the Dino Charge, what you were saying, to me, by the end of the finale of the first season, Power Rangers Dino Charge, they had the makings to be the best season ever. By the time we got to the end of Dino Supercharged, it was the biggest disappointment in my life. It just fell apart.
Big disappointment. And that's something that we can talk about in a whole nother conversation. The disappointments that we had there. With every fandom, there's always going to be disappointment. But one of the biggest disappointments that I have with Power Rangers is the lack of a crossover. We have not had a good crossover since Once a Ranger. Please do not try to tell me that the RPM Samurai situation was a crossover. If you do, you catching a fade.
Well, I'm
you know,
advocate, the quote unquote, and I'm putting it in quotes, the quote unquote legendary battle.
No. We do not speak about the legendary battle.
Please don't open that box, please.
We don't.
There's a whole.
Is that off limits?
We talked about the legendary battle we talked about it on Monday.
Bring back Rangers.
If you look at this, if you look at our YouTube channel, we talked about the legendary battles, a short video we did, but that's something that could go so longer. I want to bring up that conversation again and get a longer, deeper conversation into it. But that was one of the biggest disappointments for Power Rangers history. But I'm going to put that at number 2. We'll put that at number 2 because there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do about that mega battle because that was a big situation. I'll go into it very, very briefly to get back to my original point. The reason that mega battle failed like it did was because of the Ranger actors. Haim Saban, my granddaddy, my Israeli granddaddy, that's my granddad. Care what nobody say. So Haim Saban reached out to, and I count, 66 of the original actors. You might as well say this, everybody there was from Power Rangers. Some people wanted these nice fancy paychecks just to come back, okay? And like I say, guys, you can hear us talk about this in our mega battle conversation that dropped this past Monday. It's on the Family Anonymous YouTube channel. Reached out to 66 people to say, hey, we're about to do this. This is gonna be major. We're about to do this. And my Kevin Hart voice, I need you to come back. I need you to put on a suit. If you can still put it on. If not, we can find a way for you to do something else. We're about to bring back all the Power Rangers, all the seasons. We're going to do this big. We got 10 people out of 66 because people started whining. They started being Kimberly's. What about the money? What about this? What about my time? What about that? And there's so much flack that came back from the response of people who should have came back. As we all know, my man, Jason David Frank, he was going to come back regardless because that's my dude.
Right.
He was going to come back regardless. He's the face of Power Rangers, whether you guys know it or not. He's the face of Power Rangers. And that was a big disappointment. But my number one disappointment was the fact that we did not get a Dino crossover. They failed miserably. That could have been one of the most epic Power Ranger episodes. That, for me, would have topped Forever Red. If we could have got a full Dino crossover. And the thing about America and Japan, over there in Japan, it's like, oh, you want me to come back? No problem. No problem. Here I am, 60 years old. I got you. I'm old. But I'm going to come show my face. And I'm going to come out there and do my morphin sequence. And it's not going to be me under the suit. But I'm here. I got your back. If you watch, any time they do a crossover in Japan from an original series, the people, they come back. They come back for the love of the show. It's not necessarily about the money. I'm pretty sure they're getting paid, but it's not necessarily about the money at the end of the day. It's for the fan service. You know, and it keeps a rapport. Sentai is over 30 years old, and they kept that rapport they keep a good rapport by doing that. It's like Jason David Frank is the master of Power Rangers rapport. As long as he shows up, our blood pressure is fine. But don't count on any of the other ones to show up. If you guys did not know, Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson are doing a cameo.
No. Oh, Lord.
If y'all did not know, it's out there. It's on the IMDb page. Jason David Frank has finally come out and said it. They're doing a cameo. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. That's the thing about it.
And I think
I'm not spoiling anything.
That actually had, I believe that I can take credit for that. That actually has something to do with me adding Saban and telling him what I wanted to see in a post-credit scene. And if it goes the way I said it, I would like some money or some free toys. Can I get some toys at least?
I need a Thunder Megazord because I took a visit to Toys R Us, and I posted that video to the YouTube channel as well. And I just can't pay $199.99 for a Thunder Megazord. I can't do it. I can't do it. So, but they're doing a cameo. Now, when I listened to Jason David Frank's live Instagram feed on the way to work, he said, you know, when it comes to these big budget movies, you never really know what they're going to show. And he said these words. And when I met him in Pensacola, Florida, back in February, and even when we were doing our interview, the way he kept talking sounded like he had something to do with the movie. He kept using the phrase during his interviews, during his Q&A panel at the convention, and even during our interview together. You know, I met with Saban and Lionsgate. I met with Saban and Lionsgate. I met with Saban and Lionsgate. And in my interview with him, I said, I don't know what it is, JDF, but it sounds like you're doing something with this movie. And I said, people, I'm not saying JDF is in this movie at all, but it sounds like from the way that he's talking, he's doing something with this movie. And he kept on talking and changed the subject. I said, bingo, I got you caught red-handed. I didn't say that during the interview, but in my mind, I was like, I got you. So when I came across the IMDb page, I questioned it. I questioned it big time because you can edit IMDb. And if you go in there and create a profile and pay the membership fee, you can go in there and add your name. I could go in there and say Malcolm Banks, Red Ranger, for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and it's going to stick until somebody finds it and takes it off. But the thing about it is, one thing he mentioned was we shot a lot of different things. Some of the stuff I had long hair, some of the stuff I didn't. You don't know what they're going to put in the movie. You're just going to have to go and see it. I was like, wow. So it's a matter of what we're going to see. And it's a matter of giving it, back to our point, it's a matter of giving that fan service. And that's where the Mega Battle failed. Everybody was worried about a paycheck instead of that fan service. What do you guys think?
It's actually good to see Amy Jo back in the participation of the Power Ranger thing, because I remember for a long time she wasn't dealing with it when she was fresh off of, was it Point Break? Breakpoint? Point Break?
Flashpoint,
excuse me. And actually, even on her official website, she had no references to the Power Rangers at all. She had a whole list of her credits but that for a minute. So it took her a while to actually warm up to coming back to dealing with this.
I'm going to tell you what it really was.
She's a serious actress.
I'm going to tell you what it really was. Everybody saw Johnny Young Bosch, because Johnny Young Bosch was the first one to start going out to these conventions, and JDF came right behind them. Everybody saw them all rolling around to these conventions making all this money, just smiling and cheesing and writing their names. Because one by one, everybody came behind them. Aisha, Austin St. John. When I went to Pensacon in Pensacola, Florida, back in 2015, that's when I met Karen Ashley, Austin St. John, Walter Jones, David Fielding, who plays Zordon. Shout out to David Fielding. David Yost, they were there. So for $100, you can get the group photo with David Yost, Austin St. John, Walter Jones, and Karen Ashley. And it was at one point, this little nerdy kid, he walked up to the table. I was talking to David Yost. He said, I want to take a picture with everybody. And she got the money. She was like, hey, guys, group photo. And they just came like ants, like, oh, yeah, this is money. Smile for the money, everybody. Smile for the money. You know, so people start, Amy Jo Johnson, I bet she's going to start coming to some conventions. But Anna said, she's a serious actress.
A couple of years ago, she did like a little brief thing, and it was like sold out in seconds.
She's a serious actress.
Right.
And I heard she didn't want to.
Because of Susie Q.
I heard she didn't want to talk about Power Rangers, but I don't know. She seems a little bit more open to it now.
She's a serious actress.
I remember one of her first cons she did. It was Lexington Con, and they had a slew of other Rangers in their booths downstairs in the convention center. They had her go in her own private room. You had to pay extra, and you had to listen to her talk minimally about Power Rangers and mostly about everything else, and listen to her sing her songs. And she would not autograph anything with Power Rangers on it. She was only autographing if you purchased her CD.
Oh, no thanks. No thanks. No thanks. I don't like her that much. I'd like Topanga better if we're talking about 90s.
Yeah, and then last year when she started warming up to it, it was only because enough Power Ranger fans had funded her movie, The Space Between, that she make her directorial debut. and if she reached a certain dollar amount, she went out to the subway in Canada with her guitar and sung a song from her CD, of course.
Oh, thanks. Anywho, we're gonna try to move on, try to get back on topic. Let's jump back into the list. Who you got? What are you guys' favorite female arranger?
Yeah, I already named mine. Jen Time-Forth, Shelby Watkins. Still love Kimberly. Love her. Not so much Catherine. And Kira. I think I've already named them all. But before we go further, I got to bring up that list on YouTube of the sexiest female Power Rangers. I don't know who made it or who voted for it. There are no black women on it at all. They have every other ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the black female Rangers, Aisha, Tanya, Time-Forth Yellow, they were beautiful women. They were beautiful. I said Tanya. I said Aisha, Tanya, and Nakia Burris. So all three of them were very beautiful. So I don't understand how some of the other people made the list in front of them or at all and omitted them, because some of the ones on the list was kind of mediocre.
It's like Nakia Burris just gets better with time. You know,
yes, she does.
I was like, she is the epitome of black does not crack. It's like, look at my cousin Antonio pointed that out to me. He was like, is she getting younger? I said, brother, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But she is definitely the epitome of black does not crack.
With the Zio era, if the pink one had to represent the pretty or feminine one, her and Catherine should have switched costumes.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
If that's the case, most definitely.
Because Nakia Tanya, she was the singer, and Catherine was in the sports. She was on the diving team or swim team.
I got another topic for you all. Who is your favorite female villain?
The villain in Dino Thunder ends up dating Tommy. Why do all the women always end up having to date Tommy?
Hey, he's the man.
No. Next.
He's the man.
No.
I think my favorite villain is Astronomer. First of all, she's beautiful. That purple hair. Everybody's trying to do purple hair now, but Astronomer was locked that purple hair down back in the 90s. So y'all got to give Astronomer her props with that purple hair.
I like Divatox too.
AKA was annoying after a while for me.
Yeah.
But
I like her outfit more than anything. I think I like that.
Right.
Scorpina.
You know, so I think Divatox from the movie was better than Divatox in the TV show. There's a subtle difference there.
Yeah.
But the movie one was a little bit more.
There's a big difference.
A little bit more villain.
Definitely two different people.
Well, she was a little bit more villain in the movie, whereas the TV show it just became really campy, and as you said, annoying.
How do you feel like more females need to get involved or need to watch Rangers?
That was my question too.
I
don't know.
Got a tough one.
I mean, it's the show is not going to improve to be more inclusive of females if females are not watching.
That's a really valid point. It really is.
And not only watching, but making it known that you're a fan. Because maybe the production company and toy company only know that males are fans. Maybe they don't know that females are fans like that. So I think there's a lot more that maybe casually pay attention to it or know that it exists, but aren't making it known, aren't showing it. Wave your Ranger flag.
And say, hey, I'm here. You know, and that makes a valid point, because when I was putting this together, the idea came across and I said, I don't want to leave anything out with this countdown. And one thing I realized was we need to hear from the ladies, because there wouldn't be Power Rangers without ladies. I wouldn't have my Israeli granddaddy, Ham Saban, if it wasn't for his mama. So, you know, the ladies have to be included because it's not like this is just a show about boys, even though it's because of fighting. You know, we have to have a full spectrum of everything. And, you know, I feel like you guys said, females need to make it known, hey, we're watching. We're here. And then maybe they'll start fleshing out storylines more. Maybe they'll take it more serious when it comes to certain female roles. One of our last topics towards the end, and this is something you guys came up with, and I thought it was pretty cool. If you were to make your own Ranger, what color would the Ranger be? What type of Zord would the Ranger have?
Green, Stegosaurus.
Anna, what about you?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite colors are pink and silver, so I would do a costume silver, all sparkly, sequin glitter rhinestones, and call her the Platinum Ranger. Probably give her some little pink accents. Yeah, blinged out everywhere.
Gotta go to the hair store and get some of them pearls.
And the Zord would probably be, I can't think of it. It's my favorite animal to go when I go to visit the zoo. Impala, the thing with the horns.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about that? What is it called? It's called something else. Most people don't call it Impala, but that's what the car is named after with the same symbol on the side.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because it's graceful, it's agile, but at the time it got those long horns that can do some real damage.
A ram?
Exactly.
Is it a ram?
Are you talking about it?
Weird things with the
horns.
horns.
Are you talking about the antelope?
Maybe.
You talking about the ones who see the commercial always hopping from one side of the street to the other without touching the pavement?
They jump real high and run real fast.
That's an antelope. That would be an antelope.
Okay. Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. Okay, I Google now. Impala is a medium-sized antelope found in eastern southern Africa.
So our last topic for the evening, and it's one of the most important because we're less than 24 hours away from everybody who's going to see the Ranger movie on Thursday night. What are your guys' hopes and expectations for the new Ranger movie? Kaja, I'm going to start with you.
I am hoping that, like, a 10-year-old child doesn't jump out and say, guys, I'm the new Blue Ranger. That is my hope. I'm hoping that does not happen.
Oh. So I'm sensing you had a problem with the whole Turbo situation.
Yes. I don't want another Turbo incident. No Turbo incident. I think it should be fine.
No kids. I
want it to be good.
I didn't like that whole season just because of that one character.
I think that's for most people.
Hey, now I like Justin.
They can just make sure it's good.
I mean,
now do you all know why they did that?
They're trying to reach out to a younger audience.
Nope. That's one thing. You know, reach out to a younger audience, reach out to people at those ages. I'm gonna give y'all one more chance.
I thought that they were trying to piggyback off the popularity of Chucky and the My Buddy dolls with his haircut.
No. That's not why. Anybody want to get a crack at it one more time? Y'all give up? Y'all need to start playing the Jeopardy music?
Yeah, I give up.
Okay. So if we look at Die Ranger, and I thought Katja would catch this. We look at Die Ranger, and I don't know the name of the kid who was the White Ranger.
Oh, but he was perverted.
So, exactly.
You can't. No. Then they failed on more levels than I even know about. Absolutely not.
It was a dichotomy to compare the two, to bring that home, because it wasn't something that they were able to do. And when I first found out about Sentai, I was floored. I was intrigued, but I wasn't floored because I felt like my childhood was a lie at the time. But when I got deeper into it and started watching stuff on YouTube and things of that nature, I started to, enjoy it more. But I saw, and that's one of my biggest complaints about Saban is the fact that he did not change the suit so the suits can match the Thunder Zords. And one of the reasons why Saban said he didn't do it, and I trust my granddad's genius, is because he did not want the kids to feel like, okay, this show is changing, I'm going to stop watching it. That's the reason we had the same Mighty Morphin Power Ranger suits for 3 seasons. And after it got in,
that part I knew.
Right. But when it comes to that, that was their way to compare what they did in Die Ranger with the boy being the White Ranger and, you know, being able to become the White Ranger, with Justin being able to grow up and be the Blue Ranger.
Right, but see, one of the reasons why it semi-worked in Die Ranger was, one, it's completely separate culture, and two, he had Saba, which is like his, you know, adult, hey, you're being asinine, stop it, we got work to do, you know.
Right.
Justin's excuse was, I'm really smart and I'm in high school, so I can drive a Zord.
Yeah.
No, it's not how that works.
So, Ona, what about you? What is your expectations for the Power Rangers movie?
Well, my hopes is that it becomes the #1 movie, makes a lot of money, enough to, you know, get some sequels. Well, my biggest fear is actually already happening, and that is the movie has successfully made Ninja Steel the redheaded stepchild of the Power Rangers franchise. It's getting no viewers. They had a doubleheader this past weekend that got the lowest viewership since the season started. And the crazy part is the cast of the movie went on the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards. The cast of Ninja Steel could not go, even though they're the ones who are actually on Nickelodeon every week. So everyone's ignoring the show for the sake of the movie, and I'm scared for the future of the show because of that.
And I'm kind of skeptical. Go ahead.
Oh. I was going to say, well, let's hope that it's just like, well, the movie's coming out, so we're not paying attention to it right now. But after this, you know, initial fever for it, more people will end up tuning in afterward, and I'm sure they're banking on that too.
Right.
Yeah, but also Ninja Steel kind of has a lot of downfalls. I've never seen a season start falling apart from the very beginning. There's so much wrong with Ninja Steel that
there's a lot wrong with Ninja Steel.
Yeah, and my main gripe is the fact that during the Zord fights, they're still playing the Dino Charge music. They didn't even bother to give Ninja Steel their own Zord fighting music.
Now, they've been doing this copy music thing in the Neo Saban era a lot ever since Samurai. So that's something that has been continuing to go on. It really has.
Mm.
But what are you guys' last thoughts about the female world of Power Rangers?
Well, I think I'm falling in love with Becky G. I love her. As far as interviews, I've watched every interview. I go on YouTube and, you know, and search and make sure I get it by the date so I get the newest interviews every day. And the more I watch them, the more I just love Becky G. And Kyler, RJ Kyler. Although I feel like it's still a lot of room to grow as far as the show. I like what they're doing with the movie, with the diversity of the characters. Still a lot to go. So, yeah, still got a ways to go.
What about you, Kyle?
I pretty much echo the same sentiment. You know, I think TV show-wise, I think it's heading in the right direction. I'm going to wait to pass judgment on the movie until I actually see what they do with the female characters. I think it's nice that, you know, there's an LGBT character now. So I can see how Saban is trying to become more inclusive. So it would just be, you know, if the movie's really successful with the inclusivity, I'm hoping they'll start to add more of that into the actual TV show as well. So, you know, things look like they're going up. You know, more people are getting back interested into Power Rangers, older generations are starting to remember, oh yeah, Power Rangers is, I remember watching the show, whoa, it's still on, and check that out, and yeah, my kids, so I'm hoping this will really kind of, bring back that fervor that it had when it first started,
Right.
So, fingers crossed.
Most definitely. But guys, we do appreciate you for joining us today. Thank you, Katja. Thank you, Anna, for being here and being a part of this legendary conversation. Guys, again, if you don't know who we are Fandoms Anonymous. It's FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over everywhere. We're on Instagram at Fandoms_Anonymous17. We're on Twitter at Anonymous_Fan17. We're on Facebook. Join our group. So we have all type of discussions about not just Power Rangers, but Marvel, DC, other things as well. So join our group. It's Fandoms Anonymous on Facebook. Like the page as well. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Where can everybody find you on social media?
I'm on Facebook. Search my name. I don't have like a cosplay page or anything. Yeah, you can add me on Facebook. That's fine.
What about you, Alda?
Same thing. I'm on Facebook. My page originally started out as a professional page just for my makeup artistry, and I was going to venture into cosplaying. But Facebook told me that your name is not Faces by Amiana, and just made me put Amiana Brown. So, yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Amiana Brown, OMIONA Brown.
Awesome, guys. You can find me, Malcolm Banks, on Facebook as well. Guys, thank you for joining us today, and have an awesome day.